All right, here's what I know about this video. It's like a year old. It's out of, well, clearly, Kern County, Bakersfield area, I believe. And it involves shooting. And that's it. That's the extent that I know. This should be fun, because the more you know, the better. Let's see if they do theirs not in PowerPoint.
On the afternoon of October 28, 2020, 3 Kern County Sheriff's deputies were involved in officer-involved shootings at 2 separate locations in East Bakersfield. The following presentation is intended to help bring context to the facts surrounding this case.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
This presentation contains a map of the location of the incident, audio recordings, including 911 calls and the radio conversation between the dispatcher and deputies, and body-worn camera video. Some of the audio and visuals we're about to present may be disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Thank you. I am fragile.
911, where's your emergency? Water Street, there's been a shooting. Somebody was shooting a gun, and there's a guy on the ground that was moving, like, trying to get out of the way. Could you send a paramedic to 1000 Water Street, please? 1000 Water Street? Yes, someone's been shot, I thought.
241 Frank, put the subject down.
241 Frank, put the 245 back down.
Control 1, 241 Frank. My subject's suffering from a gunshot wound to the right leg. Severe injuries.
Suspect will be Hispanic, male 30s, black shirt, and company of a female wearing orange clothing, last seen eastbound in the alley.
At 2:59 p.m., a male, later identified as Justin Escada, is seen walking northbound in the 3000 block of Dartmouth Street. He's in the company of a female, later identified as Serena Rodriguez.
Just casually
Deputy
walking.
Christopher Gonzalez, an 8-year veteran of the Kern County Sheriff's Office, attempted to locate the suspect near the scene. Deputy Gonzalez circulated the area and located Escada and Rodriguez near
Circulated the area?
the intersection
That
of
hit the
Dartmouth
ear wrong.
Street and West Point Drive, a few blocks north of the shooting. The following video was taken from Deputy Gonzalez's body-worn camera.
Where you guys coming from? Hey, come here. No, you. No, guy.
Ooh. Okay.
241 calls.
All right, now, what about the female? You see that he's got something in his hand. Can you ignore the female? What do you do in this situation? You go to work on him, apparently.
2 Bone Charles 998 Dartmouth and West Point. Hispanic male, gray shirt, armed with a rifle.
Okay, good on him. So he got the description out. Well, he got rounds off first. He got the description out, all while on the move. And it looks like he's going to go around and try and cut this guy off. So maybe he knows the area pretty well.
Escada shot at Deputy Gonzalez, and Deputy Gonzalez returned fire. Escada was armed with a rifle. Additional deputies, as well as officers from both the BPD and the California Highway Patrol, arrived on scene in an effort to locate Escada, who fled into the alley.
Units on Nielsen, he's coming your way. He's coming out to the alley now. Could be a male, blue jeans. He's shooting at the helicopter now. Everyone, he's firing at the helicopter.
Confirm he's firing at the helicopter.
He is now firing at the helicopter. Everyone affirmative.
Damn!
Both the pilot and the tactical flight officer were uninjured. The helicopter did not sustain any damage. Escada spent several minutes in this alley, occasionally jumping fences into backyards. A shelter-in-place request was initiated by KCSO, and multiple schools were placed on lockdown as law enforcement completed a ground search. At 3:24 p.m., Escada is seen entering the south side yard of a residence in the 3000 block of Dartmouth Street. He's wearing a blue bandana over his face.
No. Surely not a Sereno.
At 3:28 p.m., an armored law enforcement vehicle and multiple personnel arrived to the front of the same residence.
They brought everybody.
The residents are evacuated for their safety. Detective Vidal Contreras and Deputy Miguel Orozco have positioned themselves at a neighboring residence to the south. Detective Contreras used the rear door for cover, while Deputy Orozco remained inside. The properties are separated by a 6-foot-high wooden fence. Detective Contreras, an 18-year veteran of KCSO, was not equipped with a body-worn camera. Deputy Orozco has been employed with KCSO for 3 years. His assigned body-worn camera was active.
There's a red dot. Hold on. Nope. Running westbound. Running westbound.
He's going to the alley.
Alley.
The fence.
And some syrup.
Got a black mask on. Covering his bandana.
I got a headshot.
Still moving. Going northbound. Correction, east. Coming out towards the front. He's coming. He's coming.
He's in this yard right in front of us.
Over here. Right here, Mark. Watch it, baby. Watch it.
He was right in front of us.
Is he on the other side of the fence?
Detective Contreras is at the rear door of this residence. He fires 1 round.
It looks like he got one back, too.
Escada is on the ground just below this frame. In this angle, Escada is seen running east along the fence line. At least 1 bullet strike is seen in the spotlight.
Yeah.
At 3:53 p.m., law enforcement personnel enter the yard in which Escada had fallen. Although they can see Escada, their approach is methodical because Escada's firearm is still within his reach. Here's a closer look at the rifle that Escada was armed with. Medical aid arrived on scene at 3:59 p.m. Escada was first transported to an area hospital, then later to a hospital in Fresno for treatment. On November 14, 2020, Escada was pronounced dead at Community Regional Medical Center. All 3 deputies were placed on routine administrative leave pending completion of the investigation. The Kern County Sheriff's Office Homicide Unit investigates any use of deadly force by any member of the department. Their findings have been submitted to the Kern County District Attorney's Office for criminal review. On December 17, 2020, the Kern County Sheriff's Office convened an incident review board examining the use of force by Deputy Gonzalez, Detective Contreras, and Deputy Orozco. The use of force by Deputy Gonzalez, Detective Contreras, and Deputy Orozco was deemed to be within department policy.
So, a little bit different than what we would do here. Our agency would, of course, determine the policy aspect of the OIS, but the actual investigation part of it would go to the state law enforcement division, and then that information would go to the what would be a DA. We call it the solicitor's office here. Anyway, the only I mean, the only thing I found odd about this is this. I don't know how they convinced somebody, and there's been one or two occasions where I've had people give me permission to come into their house to maybe watch a house across the street for maybe a stolen car or some kind of maybe dope activity or something. But this is kind of wild that they got the go-ahead from the homeowner, I guess, to post up in here. And what I'm thinking about is maybe I'm going to try that again. Retribution or retaliation from the suspect's friends. I don't know. I mean, there's nothing. I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, if you got to do what you got to do, and if the homeowner says, yeah, that's cool, then by all means. But and maybe this was the best vantage point they had. I just thought it was interesting, I guess. But there wasn't a whole lot here to dissect or to look at, because most of it was chitter chatter and stuff to read. But going back to the beginning, the initial encounter. Where is this douche? The initial encounter with the guy. Jesus Christ.
Come here. No, you. No, guy.
Yeah, see, that's always a red flag. Hey, come here. Who, me? Nah, motherfucker, somebody else. You're the only. There's two of you. So who else could I be talking to? You or him? So how about both of you stop? Right? But as soon as dude walks off, you know what's up. Something bad's about to happen. Now, again, I'm going to reiterate, what do we do with her? You got this guy walking away from her. Do you snatch her? Or do you worry about what the other guy's doing? And in this case, it's probably a good thing that he did, because he was armed. But then you have to ask yourself, what if, because this is all a big what-if game, what if she had been armed? So there's some things to think about here when you're making these encounters, when you're making these stops. And this is, way beyond Terry at this point. I mean, yeah. Or actually, it fits perfectly within.
Two phone calls. Two phone calls.
He put in some work. Now, I think what this guy did in moving around is he cutting off? Now, it says he took a perimeter position, but is he going around to cut off because he knows maybe those yards connect right there? Or was he going around because he was catching rounds from this way and was trying to find a better, maybe find some cover? Either way, it worked out. So that's that. This one was all right. Anyway, if you guys saw anything I missed, drop it in the comment section down below, as always. And hey, if you can't be good at it. We'll see you next time. Be safe. Oh, hey, don't forget, man. Some of you guys send some stuff that you want me to review, and that's cool. But it's got to be kind of raw. Borrowing stuff from other websites. YouTube's really weird about that, and sometimes these outlets don't want you to use their material, albeit public domain for the most part. Some people get kind of sketchy about it. So if you send me something, I'll look for it in a raw format, but sometimes it's hard to find. So don't be offended if I don't cover what you send me. I couldn't find it clean. So anyway, y'all be safe.